You know, of all the hate and divide going on in the world, I think if there's one thing we can all collectively agree on is that between Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Jason Statham playing the same role in every single movie, most of us don't mind seeing Mr. Statham. And the funny thing is, I think Jason Statham enjoys it. You know what I'm talking about. The perpetually serious demeanor, check. The strong British accents while living in America, check. Crazy unrealistic fight scenes, check. And that's the fun of it, I guess. But with all that aside, there's one movie, in my opinion, that breaks from all the stereotypical tropes, and that movie is Safe. Safe is a 2012 fast paced action thriller which throws us into the chaotic lives of two seemingly unrelated individuals. First, we meet May, a highly intelligent girl with an extraordinary gift for numbers. However, word soon spreads about her gifts, and she's kidnapped by Chinese mob gangster Han Xiao, who plans to use her as a human calculator for storing two special numbers. May is then forced to leave school and work for Han Xiao. Fast forward a year, and May is in New York running Han Xiao's businesses, and not the good kind, mind you. Things are going well until the Russian mob intercept May and the Chinese mafia. A shootout occurs, and May is kidnapped by the Russians, where they take her in for interrogating. Now, why would the Russians be interested in a 9-year-old girl? Well, it's because of those two special numbers she was forced to memorize. Essentially, those numbers open two safes, one with money and another with a special list of names. Anyway, back to the story. So, while the interrogating is going on, the police are also in high pursuit for May, as news of a little girl being wanted by Chinese and Russian mobsters spreads to New York's corrupt officials. The police eventually find where the Russians are interrogating her, which is followed by a screaming match by both sides, allowing May to escape and head for the subway. Now we meet Luke Wright, who we can only assume must have been an ex-hitman, but is now a cage fighter. And wouldn't you believe his luck? Out of all the nights he was supposed to lose, he beat his opponent to a bloody mess, with the Russian mob leader, Dostoevsky, betting a lump sum on his loss. In order to repay his debt, Luke's wife has to pay the price. With his wife killed, money gone, and reduced to being a bum, he's left with nothing to lose and decides to end his life. As he's about to jump in front of an oncoming train, he catches a glimpse of May in the corner of his eye being pursued by Russian men. And this is where the two finally meet and where the story really kicks off. Now, all of this is good and all, as it sets up an interesting story. You've got the little girl with the information everybody wants. You have the Russians, Chinese, and corrupt police force looking for the girl. And you have the skilled man who's lost everything protecting the girl. But what I think separates this from Jason Statham's other movies is that there's some emotional depth in this movie that makes you genuinely invested in the characters. From May being used by corrupt individuals to Luke trying to do what's right by his own accord, it kind of makes it feel like a father protecting a daughter he never had and a daughter looking up to a father she never had, which is something Jason Statham movies often lack. I mean, honestly, Jason Statham even has a range of emotions in his voice when speaking, and not the monotone voice that makes him seem disinterested in what he's doing. The action scenes themselves are somewhat realistic and toned down compared to his other movies. And there's also a scene where he actually needs help from his old team when breaking into a Chinese gambling ring, which was honestly kind of cool and refreshing to see. Now, of course, he does go full John Wick in some scenes, which is expected, but in general, the movie itself is quite tame with its action sequences. Also, it has one of the best ending fight scenes when you see Luke and his old work buddy Alex squaring off. Those of you who have seen this movie know you get the feeling that Luke was about to get his ass whooped. The acting from Jason Statham is, of course, great. The man knows how to handle himself on screen. James Hong is a seasoned actor and obviously kills it as usual. But for me, Catherine Chan was such a delight to watch. At such a young age, she was able to absolutely dominate when she was on screen and didn't break a sweat when it came to switching from playing the scared little girl to being confident and fearless in some scenes, which is a rare thing to see from child actors. Anyway, I think this movie is a classic and a definite 8 out of 10, and something I appreciate the more I watch. It's just a shame not many people seem to talk about it a lot, which is why I actually made this review. Let me know what you guys think about this movie. Was it good? Was it bad? Or am I simply overhyping it? Are there any other Jason Statham movies you think are better that I should check out? Anyway, thanks for watching and have a good day. Peace.